Welcome to Meet the Author. I'm your host, Jessica Clyde, and today's guest is A.D. Justice. Welcome, Angel. Tell us something
Hello.
about yourself.
Like you said, my name is Angel. And I know a lot of people actually ask, is that your real name or is that a pen name? No, that is actually me. Um, my husband likes to say that I'm one of the, have the little horns and all that kind of stuff. So, and the whole don't let the name fool you kind of thing. But my name actually is Angel. Um, and Justice is actually my last name as well. It's my maiden name, but I actually was Angel Justice until I got married. So that's still
Cool.
my name. So I've been writing about,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I said,
I
I
said
hear.
I've been writing about, this is 6 years now. I actually got a notification from Facebook today that I joined Facebook as AD Justice 6 years ago today.
Well,
Um,
congratulations.
thank you. And so, like I said, I've been married for, we're actually celebrating our 30-year anniversary this year. And I've told him that when we go to London and Italy for the rare author events signings, we're using those 2 weeks as our 30-year anniversary trip. So I'm dragging him across Europe with me. So
Oh,
I'm excited.
fun, very fun. My husband and I were stationed in Germany when we first got married, and so we toured Italy. And
Oh,
Rome
nice.
is absolutely phenomenal. If you get to go to Rome, you're gonna love it. Absolutely love it. It's incredible. So
We
how fun!
are. We're doing several days in London because we have the first event is in London, and then between London and Rome, that there's a week from one Saturday to the next event. So we're going to Switzerland and doing some horseback riding in the Alps, and
Oh,
then to Florence, and then to Rome.
oh, very
So
nice.
yes, we have a full 2 weeks planned. I've already told him, don't plan on getting any sleep. We'll sleep on the plane on the way home. I have too much I have to see while I'm there.
You'll be exhausted, but
Yes.
so tell us what romance genre do you write?
Actually, I'd like to jump around. I have like book ADHD. I can't write just one thing all the time. I do have a lot of romantic suspense. That's
Hmm.
typically what I like to read is the suspense and who done it and trying to figure out. And I love the plot lines that are complicated and have intricate details that you have to pick up on in order to figure it out. But I also have several that are either like the angsty, contemporary kind of feel to them.
Hmm.
I have one series that's the anti-hero, so he's mafia, and really I like to kill people fictionally. So any any genre that I get to kill people in is a lot of fun. Um, and I do like the complex um, plots.
Yeah.
And actually, my latest release does have a fairly complex plot to it, but it takes a lot to keep up that suspense
Hmm.
and keep it the page turning and all of that. So I do
Without,
like to take a break.
yeah.
So I like I also have some that's more on the contemporary romance kind of rom-com
Hmm.
feel to it as well. So, but my
How many,
next one,
how many books have you written so far?
my husband has asked me that, and I have to go back and like count each one, but I want to say that it's right at 20 now, including novellas. So not all full length, but including novellas, I think it's like right at 20 now.
Hmm. Hmm. That's a good amount. I mean,
I'm
that
still
gives
going.
everybody, yeah. So what's the
Right.
heat factor you write? How many chili peppers on a scale from one being mild to five being scorching hot? Where do you put yourself?
Um, my my most of my books are pretty scorching. The last series that I wrote, I had actually put a little bit more of the current world affairs into them, and so some like for Fine Line, there was some domestic abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't feel right to have that entire story be the same as like My Steel Security, where they fall for each other, they are working together to get out of a situation, and you know, and the heat level is pretty high. With a character just coming out of an abuse situation, it didn't feel right to put that in there. So it's, the entire book is not you know, that level of heat. But then in Hardline, the last one that I did, it's amped up a little bit more because it's a second chance romance. So it depends on what the storyline is, but for the most part, they're pretty up there.
Yeah. I like that. Most of the readers want to, you know, they understand if they're used to it being scorching hot and then it's not, they get that. That's
right.
It's important to stay with the actual story and not just make it, you know, they're not reading.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I mean, I'm not knocking anybody that does, but I don't write sex and then build a little bit of plot around it. I prefer the deep plot, and then if there are intimate scenes, then it's furthering the plot line. So it's not erotica. It's not just, you know, sex books with a little bit of plot. It's a lot of plot that happens to have a romance component to it.
I get that. That's a good thing. I mean, I like erotica, don't get me wrong, but you know, when you pick that up, you're looking for a quick, fast read. And then, you know, if you're wanting something more enjoyable, but you also like that aspect of it too, hello.
Right. And like I said, I'm not knocking anyone that does that or reads that or, you know, whatever. It's just when I start into really writing a story, I am literally more focused on what is happening with the characters and how they take over. And so when it gets to that point, it's because the characters are ready for it, you know. So
actually written, the last one I wrote was like an adult fairy tale, and when I got to the sex part of it, it didn't feel right to go into all those great details. So I thought my fans are going to hate me for this because I just a little bit. I mean, I didn't go into and I typically do. So, but I didn't get any bad reviews over it, so it was okay.
You know, I mean, to me,
it just
when I'm reading it, it has to fit the storyline. Otherwise, it's just gratuitous, and you can tell. You know, you can tell it's one of those insert sex scenes here kind of things.
Jazz it up a little bit more here. Oh, so of all your fictional characters, who's your favorite?
I have to say it's still the very first one, from my first book. And his name was Noah Steele. So it's from Steel Security. And actually there's a couple of reasons why. I mean, he's my first book baby, right? So it's my first character, the first one. But I actually named him after my nephew who had committed suicide. And it was kind of like a tribute to him. It's like a memory to him. Mm-hmm. And not that I was thinking about him as I was writing this character. It was just the naming convention. So I don't want anybody to go back and read in that book and be like, oh, she was thinking about her nephew when she wrote this. No, I did not say that. I did not say that.
It's just a little shout out.
I just happened to name him after and it was actually my nephew's last name, not his first name. So you know, it's not like I'm thinking about Chase this whole time. No, that's not his name. His name is Noah.
It's funny. I have to say the same thing. My first couple, because I wasn't a writer, I wasn't an author. It was just a love story that I felt, you know, I wrote. And
right.
I just fell in love with them. I really did. Both of those characters were just, you know, they're special to you. They really are. So,
and sometimes they're like the epitome of what you think the perfect couple would be like. Like, you know, they work through, it doesn't matter what's thrown at them, who is coming against them, what insecurities they have, they make each other stronger. And that's really what that couple, Brianna and Noah were to me, is like the perfect couple. No matter what life throws at them, they find a way to work through it. And so their issues were not, I know a lot of readers say, I hate those internal conflicts where, it's just a misunderstanding or whatever. Theirs was much deeper, a much deeper conflict, but they stuck it out. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's like
multitude of sins and love is blind. Both
right.
Of those
all of that. True love never dies. That is actually my little tagline for that book, because they go through so much, but they're still my favorite. They're still my favorite couple.
Is it a series or is it just a single book?
It's a series. There's actually 5 books in that series, and then the series that I just finished is a spinoff of that series. So there are some of the secondary characters that are part of the Steel security firm.
Right.
And part of the storyline, they have their own books in the Crossing Lines series. So it's a little bit of a spinoff. It's not exactly like Steel security, but the guys from Steel are in the new series. Yeah. So they're friends and they work together, and they back each other up, kind of thing. So you get to see the same characters over again.
So you have your own little world of yeah.
yes, it's my own little world, and I like to live there. Thank you very much.
My husband, sometimes when I come out from writing many hours at a day, he'll go, "Oh, hello, come back to." I even have a look on my face like I'm in this other world.
My husband says, I don't know how you do that for so long. I could not do that. I could not sit there and write a book for as long as you do. Yeah. And I'm like, once my fingers start going, I have to get out what's there or I lose it. Right. It's like that.
Mind is all it. Yeah, I agree.
Yes, it's like that idea is right there, and you've got to get it out. And this is what I try to explain to him. When my fingers are flying across the keyboard and you interrupt me, everything's just gone. It's just gone.
Oh, I heard that too. Oh my gosh. So that leads me to another question. Does he read your novels, or has he ever read one?
No, he doesn't. Okay. No. And I'm honestly, I am okay with that, because one, romance is not his genre.
Yeah.
I have told him about my plot lines before, and he'll look at me and go, "That's stupid. Don't write that." And I'm like, you are not my target audience. Okay. Here's the truth. Women do not want real men in their romance books. Okay. They want their book boyfriends. They want the fiction. If I was going to write a real man, you'd just be laying on the couch, scratching your ass and watching TV.
That's right. They want to drink a beer and see something naked. End of story. It would be
yeah, short book. There's your 15-minute read on Amazon.
I had a funny meme I saw the other day. I'll post it on here in the comments. It's hilarious, and it fits that. It's like I'm kind of strange. It feels strange to fall in love with the boyfriend of another woman's creation, or something like that. It's funny. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, I hear that. A man would never do that. A man wouldn't say that. And I'm like, this is why you're not writing romance. Sorry. You're just...
A man's not going to read it either. Hello. I actually have some friends that read romance, and kudos to them for that. I've always told my kids, I've got 2 boys, and I said, not mine, don't read mine. But
right.
you want to know what a woman's thinking and how she feels about a certain situation, read romance books, because it's women writing about the perfect man, and you can figure it out that way.
I have to tell you this. So my son he's in the PhD program now, but when he was in undergrad, so like he was I can't remember if he was a freshman or a sophomore. So we're still talking fairly young man, right? Yeah. He was, off at college, and when he came home one weekend, he said, that he had told some of the people at school, that my mom's an author and she has these books out, and and he told them my name, and so these two girls came up to him at school one day, in between classes, and it's like, oh, I read your mom's book, Her Dom, and Her Dom's Lesson. Oh my God, it was so good. And I'm like, stay away from those girls.
Absolutely. Don't you go near them.
But don't talk to them anymore. Stay away from them.
One, you don't want them to know. Well, him to know what they, you don't want, and then you don't want them to teach him anything.
Oh, it was.
Well, here's a
I was
funny.
like,
So my boy dates this girl, and he at Christmas time he doesn't know what to get her mom, and her mom reads romance books, so he gives her my book. And
welcome to the family.
I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Well, aren't you proud of your book? I said, well, yeah, I'm proud of my book. Well, isn't it a bestseller? Yes, it's a bestseller. He said, don't think she'll like it. I went, I don't know if I want her to like it. Idea. My house now is going to be, oh my God.
It's like worlds collide. Stop.
So we go to his girlfriend's graduation, and I meet her mom, and she instantly says to me, she said, the girlfriend's name. She wanted to know if I'd read the book, and after Christmas, when she called her on the phone, she said, yeah, I read it. And she said, was it good? And she said, yes, but you can't read it. You absolutely cannot read that. When the mama told me that, I just died laughing. I said, oh my God, I didn't know what to say when Henry told me he had given it to you. I was like, uh-oh. Because it's out there.
Yes, well, you can imagine what Her Dom and Her Dom's Lesson may be about.
There we go. Sorry.
It's all right. And so, when these two girls come waltzing up to him, oh, I read your mom's books. I love them. I'm like, just no, stay away from them.
Well, in my book, I have my main character is a stripper, and she goes to a swinger party. So, hello, those two things. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, and the whole thing that this is one thing that my husband says, and I'm like, to a degree, this is true, but not fully. You write what you know,
but not fully. Right. So the girl that I was telling you about, my friend that just went to England, she was on the plane yesterday, and she was reading, whilst they were on the tarmac waiting, she was reading my book. And she told me afterwards, she said, oh my God, she said, how did you do research for the swinger party? And I said, I didn't. I said, that is 100% fiction. And she said, you got to be kidding me. I thought it was real. Kudos to me for that. No. And so she thought I was going to confess something, right?
Yeah.
It was totally fiction, I promise.
Well, and I kind of throw it back, and I'm like, well, yes, my books have sex in them. They're all adult books. I mean, I'm not saying that they're triple X, but they are meant for adults, for 18 and older.
Right.
But the other part is, I also kill a lot of people. So do you think that I have a lot of experience with killing people? Right. I mean,
got a vivid imagination.
That's right. And if there just happens to be a name in there that matches my mother-in-law or somebody that I know, and they get killed, so it was imagination.
Don't read anything in there. Don't get context. Just let all that go. Oh, so tell us about Hardline. What's in the you can tell us about the synopsis and all that, and give us a little juice. Give us a little something. Don't give us a spoiler, but
All right. So Hardline is the third book in the Crossing Lines series. So that it wraps up that series. And it's also, like I said, it's a little bit of a crossover from the Steel Security. So you'll see some of those guys and people in there, I should say. And it's actually set mostly in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
it was a little bit different because it's a second chance romance, and he gets a coded message, a distress message from his ex. And he had, they were true commitment issues from something that happened to him in his childhood, and him and his dad never recovered from. And so he couldn't move on.
Right.
No matter what he really felt, he wouldn't let that come out until he gets this message that there was an assassination attempt and she needs out of the country immediately. Come help her. And so he drops everything and flies halfway around the world to get to her, only to find out she didn't send the message.
Uh-oh.
So then then we go into the entire story where they're having to work together to figure out what's going on, what's happening behind it, how did it get sent, and why.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like piece by piece putting it together. But there are some things that I incorporated into it that are real, that are happening in that area of the world, not in Dubai, but in Saudi Arabia. The way that women are treated, they do venture into, there are some Arab men that are after her.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that women in Saudi Arabia are treated, the way that they don't have rights like we do. Mm-hmm. They can't even leave the country without their male guardian's approval. So I incorporated a lot of that into the book because it is real world problems, but it fit with the story.
It's really important that American women learn that too, because they don't always realize that just because we have all the freedoms as a woman in our country, other women don't have that in other countries.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
So kudos to you for that. That's an educational as well. When you see them over there, they haven't been given the right to drive until this last year, or
Right.
I mean, that's hello. Wow. Anyway. Well, good for you. That's excellent. It sounds excellent. I'm going to read it. I'm going to do your review.
All right. I can't wait.
Yay, me too. I like a good mystery novel.
Well, and I do add a lot of humor to it too, because I feel like the topics are so heavy, and when I get to kill people and all that, the murder, that's all very heavy. So I need something to kind of lighten it up. So that needs a little levity brought into it. And so I have some characters that are just naturally characters. They just kind of bring out that sarcasm, the jokes, the making fun of, especially the guys picking on each other, making fun of each other, And then there's one character that is like carried through from Steel all the way through Crossing Lines, and her name is Liz. And if you've read any Steel Security or anything, then you know who Liz is. And she's just this crazy old lady that has been brought into the family as one of them. And she says anything and everything that's on her mind. It doesn't matter how far-fetched or how crazy it is. She wants to learn how to be a spy. And she's like dogged after them to teach her all of the spy ways. And she was hilarious. She's just a hoot to write. And so she brings them back down to earth. When everything is like really intense and really serious, she's the one that's making the wisecracks and stuff that this kind of makes them stop and put everything back into perspective. It's like, okay, yes, we're going to get through this too. So
I love it. I have a lot of laughter in mine too. I think the world is just too serious, honestly.
Yeah.
If we loved and laughed about, a lot more things, think how much happier the world would be. I mean, what a peaceful place it would be. Hello?
Right.
Anyway.
And she's so inappropriate. It's so funny because that character, Liz, she is so inappropriate, and she makes all the guys cringe.
Here's the cartoon. Her name starts with an M. She's the old lady that has this unfiltered mouth. Oh my God. I can see her plain as day. She's like this old, she's got the white hair and the scrunched up face, and she Oh, I'll have to find it and put it in here. You'll die laughing when you see her, but that's got to be Liz. Have you ever drawn pictures of your characters? Have you ever sketched them out to?
No, I cannot draw anything but flies.
Oh.
That's all. No, my son, he is an artist. He can draw. If he's looking at a picture or whatever, he can. He has always been a great artist. But I don't. I guess he got that from my husband, because my husband is also a musician. I mean, there's nothing that my husband can't do, honestly. And he can draw and all that stuff. I have never been able to draw.
That might be fun to do. Have them. Well, I don't know if your husband would appreciate it or your son, but draw a picture of Liz and let us see what she looks like. Oh, the hoot. Okay, so are you? Do you have any giveaways or any things going on? I know we did a party yesterday for you in or was it the day before? Bestsellers. What was that?
Bestsellers and bestsellers.
Yes.
Yep. I have been doing several takeovers and all kinds of groups. And I can't thank Candy Cane PR enough, because she has just been a lifesaver through this entire thing, helping me through each one, giving me a spreadsheet, telling me where to go and what to do. And I've started calling her mom, because I'm like, you have to hold my hand and tell me where to go here and where to go there. And I send her like these little memes. Thanks, Mom. And she's like, well, I already have this many kids. What's one more?
That's cool. Well, do you have your name hashtagged in it, or should they go and search just AD Justice in the?
I've used the same hashtag. It's hashtag AD Justice giveaway. Okay. And so there are, that's why I was kidding. I mean, I was kind of kidding when I posted the other night that I was going to end up in Facebook jail because of Candy, because I had so many groups that I was hitting.
I've been there way too many times. It's not even funny.
Yep. So I actually have a couple, at least 2 or 3 each night. So as it goes along, they will be out there searchable, and go join the groups and participate and have all kinds of fun.
Yeah, and meet new people and meet new readers. That's always fun.
Yes.
Okay, so let's wrap this up then. Thanks, Angel, for chatting with me, and congrats on your new book, Baby Hardline. On behalf of myself and Romance Devoured, we appreciate you being here. Be watching for my video book review of Hardline. I can't wait to read it, for real, y'all. For real.
I know, I can't wait.
If you enjoyed meeting AD Justice, make sure you sign up for her newsletter. Her website is authoradjustice.com. And do you have a group that you would like to invite people to? You just changed the name of your group, didn't you? Perfect.
I changed the name, but the actual link is still the same. So it's still under AD Justice Books. So, but the actual group name is called Perfect Little Angels.
I saw that today when I went to look for it. I went, oh, I like that. But I tried to tag it, to search it, and it didn't come up. So I thought,
right.
All right. It's AD Justice Books, Perfect Little Angels is the right place. So we want to encourage you, watchers, to go to Romance Devoured's website as well and sign up for the newsletter. You will discover free and discounted books every week. I also do a subscription to my newsletter. We'll give you a free book called Finding Her. And it's the first book in my series, Heart series. And when you sign up for my newsletter, I post every week. If you want monthly, you can ask for monthly, but I give away a signed paperback every time you get an email from me. And Romance Devoured's readers group is Ravenous Readers, and mine is just the Diva Den. So, all right, that's all I got for today. Thanks, Angel. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.